Hello and welcome to It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Joining me today are Kate Thompson, President and CEO of the Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, and Jim Laurendeau, who is Vice President of Park Planning and Development for the Calgary Stampede. Thanks for joining us today, both of you.
You're welcome. Nice to be here.
Happy to be here.
Okay, well, you guys have had big announcements regarding BMO Centre expansion and the latest news on that. Could one of you just bring us all up to date on what you folks announced just the other day?
Well, I can get started if you like. We have just put the finishing touches on Hall F, which is 100,000 total square feet on the north end of the BMO Centre. And what that does is it allows us to demolish a different part of the building for the next phase of the project and keep all of the business that we have planned between now and 2024 intact while we build this absolutely magnificent new convention center that we are just so excited about.
And maybe, Kate, can you answer this question is just, what does the entire BMO Centre expansion entail?
Well, that's a really good question. It's a lot. I think people think of it as just the final renderings that we showed in the spring, which are really inspiring and exciting. But what it takes to deliver those renderings is actually a lot of work behind the scenes. So this isn't just a new build on a flat piece of land that you start from scratch and go up. It's actually required the last several months of enabling work. So getting all the work underneath the ground, things that nobody can see, but it's quite complex, all the services ready to go to allow us to take down the corral and take down Hall A and get ready for the actual construction. So before we even technically put the first shovel in the ground to start the new construction, there's a lot of work. So in addition to working on the structure, we're also concurrently working on the expansion of 17th Avenue into the district and across McLeod Trail. So it is a coordinated effort in the whole district to make it all come alive.
And Jim, maybe you could answer this. So what's next in this project, and maybe give me a little bit of the timeline of what we can expect and when it can be completed.
Sure, absolutely. So we've been underway preparing the corral and Hall A for demolition for a couple months now, and that actually gets underway starting early next week. As well, the walkway from the train station through the BMO Centre and into the Saddle Dome is coming down in the coming weeks as well. It's already begun and will continue to do that. And come April, we will get underway on construction of the new convention center. And when it's all finished in June of 2024, we will have over 1 million square feet of convention and trade show space in the BMO Centre, putting it in the absolute top tier of convention centers.
And Kate, what does that mean for the city to have this state-of-the-art and new convention center area?
Well, there's a couple things it means. It means something right now for the city in that it's job creation and it's getting people moving on site and allowing things to happen looking forward. And I think it means something different for all of us after 2024 when we have different folks coming into the city being drawn to this asset and amplifying the strong voice that Calgary Stampede already holds within the city and creating a buzz, creating a cornerstone to the culture and entertainment district. CMLC has been working on this vision for a few years now, and this is the first big step in that and on our way to that vision.
Okay, Jim, Kate mentioned, the 17th Avenue and the access into the Stampede Park. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of that and what is happening there and what that will mean for the park itself?
Absolutely. So, someone asked me the other day, how will this all look different, sort of in the next 5 years? And how I answered was, it will look nothing like it looks today in 5 years from now. Nothing at all like what it looks today. That historic connection coming back across the Red Line LRT, 17th Avenue, extending onto Stampede Park, and really establishing what was originally, certainly those that went to the Stampede in the 1950s and 60s, that was the main entrance to Stampede Park. And reestablishing that entry and that way of coming into the park at all times of the year, and having that daily circulation of traffic through Stampede Park and then north into the East Village, it really changes everything. It changes how we operate, it changes how we think about Stampede Park, and it really opens Stampede Park back up to the rest of Calgary, which that connection was severed in the lead up to the 1988 Olympics with the original LRT. So it's a game changer. I think it allows, it's sort of the blood circulation for the entire area. It will activate for other projects that CMLC is part of, including the event center, and some retail opportunities we believe will come as all part of this sort of critical mass of infrastructure that is going to be attractive not only for Calgarians to come to, but I think for people all over the world, not just at Stampede time, but all the time.
Okay. Last question I have, and it's for Kate, because I know, Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, heavily involved in the development of East Village, now involved in obviously the old, quote unquote, Victoria Park area where Stampede is. What is that going to mean for that area of the city to have those synergies in place between those two neighborhoods?
Well, I think, building off what Jim said, it's a game changer. I just got off one Zoom call to get on this Zoom call, and we were actually looking up 4th Street and moving along the 4th Street, looking at BMO on the left, and then the event center design and its early conception on the right, and seeing how those two buildings really play off each other. And I've said this before, but it's a unique opportunity to work on both of these projects, signature community building projects, at the same time. It doesn't happen very often. Usually one gets built and then 10 or 15 years later, another one gets built and has to respond. So we're in a unique moment that we're actually able to look at both of them simultaneously and think, what is the best interface? And actually for CMLC, probably our biggest challenge is the space between the two buildings. I think we have really, really competent teams working on both the projects and great teams working on the space between, but it's really about knitting it all together. So I think it's going to be, if all comes together the way we're supposed to, is supposed to be a place where people feel comfortable at all scales. So during Stampede, post-event, on a Thursday night when no game is happening, on a convention day when you have convention goers walking around there. So it should shift the feel of the area. You should know where the river is. You should be able to access the river. You should be able to have more pedestrian space for you to walk with your friends. You should be able to have more patios. Just a really much more lively place.
Okay, super. Well, thanks both of you for joining us today.
Our pleasure. Thanks, Mario.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was Kate Thompson, President and CEO of Calgary Municipal Land Corporation, and Jim Laurendeau, who is the Vice President of Park Planning and Development at the Calgary Stampede. This has been It's Your Business with Mario Toneguzzi on Megapix Media. Thanks for joining us today.